Let's talk about a part of business that, let's be honest, is usually just a massive headache: returns. And specifically, we're diving into electronics returns. You see, most companies look at them as a pure cost, a loss. But what if they're actually sitting on a gold mine of value that's just waiting to be unlocked? That's what we're going to dig into.
And it all boils down to this one simple truth. It sounds obvious, right? But it's actually really profound. A returned product isn't just a box sitting on a pallet. It's a fork in the road. It's a point where value can either be saved or completely destroyed. And it all comes down to a single decision.
Okay, so if it's that simple, why do so many companies lose a ton of money on returns? Where does all that potential profit go? I mean, it doesn't just poof, vanish into thin air. It leaks away, quietly, in a place most people aren't even looking.
To find that leak, we first got to figure out what the real problem is. And that means we have to challenge a really common and, as it turns out, really wrong assumption about returns.
Right. This is where we flip the script. Almost everyone assumes the biggest issue is just the sheer number of boxes coming back, the volume. But if that were true, the toughest returns category wouldn't be electronics at all.
Just look at the difference here. Returning a shirt, that's pretty simple. Is it new? Restock it. Is it torn? Scrap it. 2 piles. Easy. But an electronic device, that's a whole different ballgame. It's a maze of questions. Is this thing actually broken? Can we fix it? And what about the personal data on the hard drive? See? It's not about volume. It is all about complexity.
So what's driving all that complexity? Well, it's this number, 68%. Now get this. This is the percentage of returned electronics that have, well, absolutely nothing wrong with them. That's right. More than 2/3 of the time, the device works perfectly. Maybe the customer got confused by the setup or had a classic case of buyer's remorse. This is what's called a no-fault found return. And it's exactly why you need a process that's way smarter than just good pile, bad pile. So if every single return is that complex, how do you even begin to manage it all? Well, it starts with a surprisingly simple framework. There are really only 4 paths any returned electronic can go down.
Here they are. You can repair it and send it back to the original customer. You can refurbish it, make it like new, and sell it again. You can scrap it responsibly. Or you can do nothing. You can let it just sit there on a pallet in a forgotten corner of the warehouse, just waiting.
And this is so important. Doing nothing feels passive, right? It feels like you haven't made a choice yet. But in the world of returns, putting off the decision is the decision. And as you're about to see, it is by far the most destructive one you can make. So if doing nothing is the real enemy, what's its secret weapon? What's the one force that truly destroys the value that's locked inside all these return products? It's probably not what you're thinking.
It's time. The cost of paying a technician to look at a device is nothing, literally nothing, compared to the value that just bleeds away every single day that device sits on a shelf. The market moves on, new models come out, and the window to resell it just slams shut.
Let me show you what I mean with some real numbers. Let's take a returned laptop. If you process it right away, get it tested, refurbished, and ready to go, you can probably sell it for about 60% of its original price. That's real money you just saved.
But what happens if you make that do-nothing decision? You let that same laptop sit in the warehouse for just 6 months. Well, by the time you finally get around to it, its value has been cut in half. It's now worth maybe 30% of what it used to be. That gap, that's the cost of time.
All right, so if time is the margin killer, then the solution has to be its polar opposite, right? It's not about having some perfect 100-page process manual. It's about one thing and one thing only.
Velocity, speed. It's that simple. The faster return can move through your entire system, from the moment it hits the loading dock to the moment it's back in a value stream, the more of its original worth you can actually save.
And velocity really breaks down into 3 key parts. First, there's speed to assess. How fast can you figure out what you're dealing with? Don't let it sit for weeks. Then, speed to decide. Once you know, you gotta act. Route it to repair, refurbish, or scrap, instantly. And finally, speed to market. Get it out the door. Get that repaired unit back to the customer, or get that refurbished laptop listed for sale. Fast.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've seen that the real problem isn't volume, it's complexity. We've learned the enemy isn't the cost of labor, it's the cost of time. And the solution isn't some perfect complicated plan, it's just velocity. And this table just lays it all out crystal clear. You repair something, you recover value.
You refurbish it, you recover value. You even scrap it the right way, you're recovering value by avoiding fines and staying compliant. There is only one choice on this entire list that guarantees you destroy value every single time.
And that failure, it isn't some loud, dramatic explosion in the warehouse. No, it's a quiet leak. It's a slow bleed of your profit margins, day by day, pallet by pallet, until one day you look and there's absolutely nothing left to save.
So I'll leave you with this. Right now, in your warehouse, your returns are waiting. Every single one of them is waiting for a decision. And just remember, choosing to wait is a choice. So what's your decision going to be?